Hey you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Happy New Year 2022. Hopefully you had a fun yet safe one. So we're back with another video, and in this video we are going to talk a little bit about a segment of Ready to Love Season 5 Episode 11. This whole situation between Shiloh and Phil. But before we unpack all of this, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. If you like the video, smash the like button and feel free to drop a comment down in the comment section below. So let's jump into this. So if you guys watched the episode of Ready to Love Season 5, Episode 11, we saw that both Shiloh and Phil got into a little tiff, okay? And Shiloh, from what it seems, she decided to go ahead and pick Phil. She was like, done with the process. I choose you. And the thing is, she wanted him, it seems, for him to choose her back in that moment. However, Phil said that this is still a process and that everybody has a journey that we all are on. But it seems that rather than respecting Phil's process and this journey, she tried to force an answer out of him, which didn't go well at all. These two went back and forth, and this type of stuff was happening after having a few drinks and going on between the wee hours of the morning. So we're talking anywhere from 3 to 5 a.m. Now, this is what led to Shiloh needing to walk away. However, with it being in D.C. and her walking into an alley, one that even Phil wouldn't even feel comfortable walking down as a man of his stature, he made a choice and decided to lift her up and take her back towards the car for her safety. However, Shiloh didn't like that at all. So they had a whole conversation with Tommy. Tommy gets involved. And so Shiloh makes it clear that she, doesn't think Phil meant to hurt her physically, but she does believe that he wanted to hurt her emotionally. And then, she decided to skip meeting Phil's family and all of that. And we know what happened at the end. She decided to self-eliminate. Now, there's another piece in this conversation, and this is Phil's part of this. Phil's response, looking at the time of night that it was, the fact that she decided to storm off, she's in a different emotional state because obviously she didn't get the answer that she wanted, which was for him to choose her in that moment instead of seeing the process through. She storms off. It's anywhere between 3 and 5 a.m. and she's headed down a dark alley in a part of D.C. that, is not, I guess, at that time of night, a good place to be. As trying to protect her, he picked her up. And so in his head, he pretty much saw this as, look, I don't want this woman to get hurt. It's way early in the morning. This is not a good area for her to just walk off down the street. I need to pick her up and bring her back toward the car. Now, the thing is, looking at this conversation, because, of course, I've also seen some of the comments on social media, and you had a lot of folks, saying that Phil, even though maybe he shouldn't physically, picked her up, the fact of protecting her in that situation and leaving her out there, to say, okay, fine, you want to walk away, walk away. The problem with that, if he did that, then and something happened, or even if it got whiff and nothing happened, but she just moseyed on in the night, I can guarantee you he probably would have got flack for that too. So he was in a no-win situation in this whole thing. However, I also understand the fact that she obviously has some past traumas. Those past traumas triggered things that she saw by Phil picking her up. And she mentioned those things from a past relationship. Somebody put their hands on her, and it triggered those old emotions and old wounds. And as you guys know, on my channel, I also speak about therapy. One thing that I will say, and I'm not calling her crazy or anything, she has to process her emotions the way she see fit. That is her issue, her situation. She knows where she stands with that, so I'm not going to even discount how she feels in that moment. I do also think that, and this is male or female, if you haven't healed any past traumas, all you're going to do is take that in and take that out on the next person. And a lot of times, if you look at traumas, they're old wounds. So until you get those wounds cleaned up, closed, healed, it might leave a scar, so you'll always remember it, but it's not so open that anything that come along that may be bumping up against something, can cause pain. In this situation, it triggered her. And a couple of folks, I did read some things that triggered them too. But at the same time, you cannot take those traumas into and make that next future person, male or female, pay for the traumas in your past. You have to clean that stuff up. You have to. And it's just so unfortunate that it played out on television, because even though she made it adamantly clear that she don't think he was trying to physically harm her or lay hands or do anything damaging to her physically, she actually said that she felt that he was emotionally trying to hurt her, because by her saying, no, don't touch me, I don't want to be picked up, and him doing it anyway, she felt that that was a level of disrespect. When she said no, she should have left her alone. That was a sticky situation. I mean, the whole thing, you got to allow a person to make the choice for themselves. And in this case, Phil wasn't ready to make that choice. I understand that you're not happy about that, but it escalated to this level when he could have just said, oh yeah, it's you, it's you, it's you. And then he still got Sydney and he's telling her it's you, it's you, it's you. And then if it comes back to the deliberation with the other ladies that he both told you the same thing, you'll be pissed off about that too, because think you're being played and he led you on and all of that. He was honest and upfront about where he is in this process. You have to, you might not like it, but you got to respect other people's boundaries. Even if it was on the flip side, I would be saying the same thing about Phil. If he said, well, why can't you pick me? You should pick me. And Shiloh was like, I got other options. Now, the interesting thing is Sydney, because Tommy asked Sydney, did you ever have an experience? And she was like, I even know him from parties and different things prior to the show, and he's a protector. He's never done anything like that to me. I've never heard him in that type of space. He's just not that type of person. But at the same time, she did not discount the feelings that Shiloh had. So I can appreciate that, because obviously Shiloh, whatever she felt in that moment, she felt it was real in that moment. Doesn't mean that that was who he is, but she felt what she felt. She had to take ownership of her feelings and emotions. It was just interesting that in Sydney's, her private conversation with the cameras, she was like, that doesn't make sense. I've never heard of him do anything like that. I don't know what she's talking about. So she also asked Shiloh, can I talk to him so I can get a perspective as well? So I also appreciate the fact that she had that conversation. But all this started because of not respecting boundaries. When somebody puts up a boundary and say, hey, no, let me think about it, I'm not sure, I need to follow the process, and they're honest with you, even though you might not like the answer, you have to take a chance that whatever you ask, there's a 50% chance that that answer is not going to go your way. And you have to process that as such. Go home and say, I can't believe it's not my person. But for it to escalate into this situation where now alcohol was involved, it's anywhere between 3 and 5 o'clock in the morning. You're mad and walking off down an alley that anything could happen. Granted, he was trying to protect you. Maybe he should have said, okay, well, I won't touch you. Here, let's go back toward the car. This is a bad area. It's a way to communicate things too. So do I think this situation should have escalated the way that it did? No. Do I think she should have just walked off in the late hours of the night by herself into an alley? No. Do I think that he should have picked her up after she said don't do it? He shouldn't have. He should have redirected and maybe communicates. You know, I understand you're upset, but we got to get home. It's not in the right space that we're in, where it's late. Why don't we walk back toward the car? Redirect, point, show your arms to show direction. Because at that point when she said, no, don't pick me up, don't pick her up. I mean, it is what it is. I do understand he was trying to protect her. But when a person said, don't touch me, don't touch him. I mean, again, boundaries. So, let me know what you think. I know a lot of people are using words like, oh, Shiloh is so crazy. Something's wrong with her. She blah, blah, blah. Look, people have certain things that has happened in their past that they need to heal from. She needs to do that. And that's how I'm going to phrase that. That's why I'm an advocate of therapy. Go clean those issues up before getting involved with somebody else, because all you're going to do is end up reflecting whatever's from your past onto that new person. And that's not fair to them, and it's putting you through reliving that anguish with a whole new individual that person has nothing to do with whatever happened in your past. So let me know what you guys think. I know you guys probably have a lot to say. I like to keep it pretty objective. There was things that went wrong on both sides of this thing. Pretty much like I said, Phil, in so many words, was in a he could have been in a no-win situation, because if he had let her go ahead, he would have been crucified for that. How can you let that lady go out there by herself? You're supposed to protect her. You're supposed to look out for her. And then when he tries to do something, you know, she got triggered by things in her past, even though after she said, don't pick me up, he shouldn't have did that. He should have just recommunicated in a different way to get her back to the car and out of that situation that she's in. And at the same time, how this all started in the beginning, you have to respect people's boundaries. People are honest with you. You might not like the answer, but you have to accept it and not have a big tiff or temper tantrum, or do it in an environment that is safe. Go home, talk about it with your friends, kind of grab something to drink and understand what's going on. But how this escalated, it shouldn't have went there. So let me know what you guys think. Sound off in the comment section as you usually do. I love you guys' comments. Again, Happy New Year 2022. Looking forward to new and more content from all of your dating and reality TV shows. So until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you soon.